From the home of Falcon football, CBS 7 presents Falcon Focus with Jake Gaydon and Marshall Kramsky.
Good evening, Falcon faithful. I'm Jake Gaydon.
And I'm Tatum Gwen. Tonight, the men's head basketball head coach Josh Newman is in studio with us to talk hoops.
Before we do that, let's get caught up in the things that you might have missed this past week in this week's game against Our Lady of the Lake University. We have UTBB hosting their second game of the year against Our Lady of the Lake from Baton Rouge. We start in the second. The Saints with a quick pass here to Carlson Goody, and Goody good with the reverse layup here. But it's Jacob Ledoux doing his things quick for the Falcons. Nice finger roll here in transition. Dude does this every single day. Our Lady of the Lake, though, trying to stay in this one. We have Ethan White here from three. Off the inbound. Nope, actually, that's moving the ball around. Nice corner three. But Miles Washington here with the miss. It's a Monzi. Coach, can you help me with this last name real quick?
Yeah, Injo
Cooper?
eBay.
All right.
All I know, he got the cleanup in aisle 24. Let's look at the final score in this one. UTPB going to win this one against Our Lady of the Lake in a final of 105-61.
Not bad, Coach Newman. Let's break down this game. It was a big night for the defense. They held Our Lady of the Lake to 29% shoot as a team. Can you pinpoint one thing that clicked with your defense on Wednesday?
Well, you know, they were coming in averaging 91 points a game. And so we kind of addressed, hey, this is not going to happen here in the Dome.
Nice.
We want to make sure that we assert ourselves defensively, both with our main and our zone. I thought our guys really took that challenge upon themselves.
Now, the Falcons pushed that game to a double-digit lead in the first 10 minutes of the game. Do you like getting and setting a pace really early on and how fast you guys want to kind of play?
Absolutely. I want to play as fast as we can play without being out of control. If we could average 100 points a game, we'd like to do it. So that's one thing that we want to do. But, you know, they pressed. One of the things Our Lady liked press, and we want to attack the press. A lot of teams pull the ball out and try to run offense, but if teams are going to press us, we're going to try to go score layups at the other end.
So let's talk about offense for a moment. In the first half of the game, your guys were shooting for 55%. What was working for you guys? What was clicking that game?
Well, again, we're taking advantage of their press. You know, it's easier to score anytime you score layups. And so when you start scoring layups, the basket just seems a little bit bigger. And so when you start scoring inside, now that three-point shot starts to fall a little bit easier.
Your team pushed 20 assists in this game. Do you like them sharing the ball like that? I know we were talking a little earlier, inside-out game is all what you're basically looking for. Am I right on that?
Yeah. I mean, every coach wants their team to play unselfish. And so it goes back to that 100 points. If I could have 10 guys average 10 points a game, there's 100. If we can have each guy average 4 or 5 assists, then we're doing great. Because when you have a deep team that's unselfish, it kind of keeps everything kind of moving along the right direction.
Kyrie Elder and Miles Washington, they both put up big points, 18 and 15. Are there any other standout players from this game?
You know, Miles actually had a great breakout. I mean, he actually showed some true athleticism. If you were there, you saw a couple of his monster dunks. We need more of that. Kyrie Elder has done a great job playing the point. Jacob Ledoux is going to be an offensive threat all year long. And then I think as the season goes on and we find more opportunities for Mo, you're going to see him establish a very good inside presence. So right now we got a lot of depth, but those 4 guys are hopefully making the strides in the right direction.
Well, and as they come together more as a team, you know, things start to click and they can kind of do their own things, get in their rhythm with each other.
No question. It's all about roles. And it's so hard because when you recruit guys, every one of those guys was the best player on their team.
Sure.
So their role was different. And so how fast they adjust to their new role will determine how fast our success is determined.
If you could look at one thing, though, Coach, in that game, what thing would you say after the game that you wanted to see and get better at, basically?
Still defensively,
okay.
You know, and as a coach, we're on to the next one already. But in that game, I thought we played really well. I was most impressed with our pressure attack against the press.
Okay.
But defensively, something we always got to improve on.
Well, you said that team usually scores about 90 points in a game, and you held them to 60. That's good defense.
Oh,
yes?
it is. But you should know by now, no coach is happy.
Sure.
We're all striving for perfection, and it's big picture. All these are the little things that lead up to the big things, and we're trying to prepare for the best teams in the Lone Star every single night, even though we're not playing them right now.
Okay, I like that one, Coach. Thank you so much. The Falcons, they headed to Midland to take on the University of the Southwest Mustangs last night at the Schapp Center.
We'll break down that game after the break. You're watching Falcon Focus here on CBS 7.
We're back with more Falcon Focus with Jake Dayton and Marshall Kramsky.
Welcome back to Falcon Focus. The Falcons made the trip east to play the University of the Southwest in Midland. If you weren't there, here's what you missed.
All right, Tatum, let's take a look at the Shap. So the Shap Center we go. Falcons hosting the University of Southwest. Start in the second quarter, UTBB up 4, Mustangs in transition, and they find a cutting Rontrell Hills for the easy 2, and they cut the lead to 2, but the Falcons right back at it. Look at Xavier Ledette driving the lane, clean finish. Falcon football head coach Justin Carrigan liking what he sees, and there you go on that. It was all, though, the Jacob Ledoux show after that. A little inside-out game here from 3 from Ledoux, plus a foul away from the ball. Then in transition, Isaac Hernandez to a cutting Ledoux for another nice finish. Rock with the final score if we can. UTBB going to win over the Mustangs last night in a final of 88-79.
Well, Coach Newman, let's break down this game. First, how was it playing in Midland? This was a first game in history for the basketball program.
Well, that in itself, I think, is very special. We try to challenge our guys and tell our guys every day that you want to do something special. You know, you have an opportunity to be here for 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, do something special. And every one of those guys, including me, had a chance to play the first ever basketball game in Midland at the Shap Center. And now, you know, nobody can ever take that away from us. So, lucky to be 1-0 in the Shap Center, but it was really neat to be a part of history.
Let me ask you this, Coach. At the beginning of the year, you said a guy to look out for is Jacob Ledoux, and we saw him twice in the highlight right there. Has he met expectations throughout the year, and can he elevate his game even more, do you think?
Oh, I think he can definitely become better. I think nobody reaches their expectations until the season's over when we can really, truly reflect on it. So he's doing well. He played really well in the second half. In the first half, he kind of struggled a little bit to find his rhythm. But I think coming out of halftime, there was a pretty good speech that was said, some colorful things that were commentated in there. And he came out and he responded the right way. And it kind of got us, I have a little bit of funk, truth be told.
So let's talk about the transition game for a moment. Offensively, you put up 26 points. And on defense, you only gave up 12. Is this a transition game where you want it to be at this point?
Yeah, I think we're really good in transition. I think that's probably the best thing that we do. I would like us to go from transition to secondary, and transition is scoring early. Secondary is running your offense out of transition. So once we get to that phase, I think you're going to see our offense actually even grow and get better. All
right, there's a part in that clip during the highlight where you're like, guys, I'll show you on tape tomorrow, okay? You guys are not rebounding the ball. So let me ask you this, Coach. What's going on with that? Why don't you think you guys are getting to the glass?
I think a lot of it was attention to detail. You know, sometimes when you get a big lead or you're playing in a certain situation, you kind of relax. And I thought we relaxed a lot in that game at certain times. And as a coach, that's what you don't want. You want your guys to continue to push and to be perfectionists till the very end, until the buzzer sounds. So I think we just got a little relaxed, truth be told, and didn't focus as much as we should have.
So now taking a look back at this game, you had a night to sleep on it. What's one thing you feel like y'all did really well and one thing that y'all could kind of work on?
Well, it goes back to defensively. I thought defensively we were not very good in this game. We gave up 50% compared to 30% the other night. So that was a little discouraging. Rebounding the ball was a little discouraging, but I thought we showed a little fight. You know, we kind of got to where we were down. It was really close at halftime. And I thought our guys showed a little bit of toughness in the second half, which was a good thing that we can walk away with.
Absolutely.
Coach, 20th straight home victory. I know you've only been a part of a couple games of that, but that dates back to the 2017 season. How incredible is that you guys have that much of a home field advantage?
Well, I think it speaks a lot for the crowd. I think it speaks a lot for the Permian Basin. Yeah, even though Midland was not a home game, it still felt like a home game. We had a lot of people that traveled from Odessa. Hopefully we had some people that were from Midland that had never seen us play. But playing in the Falcon Dome is different. I will tell you that. The home court advantage there is like no other. So I can see why they've won so many games. We just hope to continue to do our part and keep the streak alive.
I think so.
All right, up next, Coach, we'll introduce you guys to one of the leading men on this team. Don't go anywhere. You're watching Falcon Focus here on CBS 7.
We're back with more Falcon Focus with Jake Dayton and Marshall Kramsky.
Welcome, Black. Can we start that again?
Welcome, Black.
Black. Welcome, Black. Okay.
Redo.
We're back with more Falcon Focus with Jake Dayton and Marshall Kramsky.
Welcome back. Like we've talked about the past few weeks, it's all about new things here for that UTPB men's basketball team.
Except for sophomore Adam Rivera. This is his second season playing for Coach Newman, so he knows what to expect from Coach. He's using that knowledge to also build up his teammates. College basketball is a dream come true for sophomore Adam Rivera.
Every day is a blessing. I know that every time I come in here, it's like an opportunity that a lot of people don't have.
Playing for UT Permian Basin and for Coach Newman was an easy choice for the power forward. He started his college career with Newman in Arkansas.
It was definitely no brainer just because I knew them so well, the whole coaching staff out of high school. So there's a big level of trust there. And I know what to expect from them, and they know what to expect from me, so it's a lot smoother than had I gone to play for a new coach.
He says this season is all about trusting the process.
And so here there's a huge learning curve for everybody just because we're meeting each other, you know, and trying to learn how each other play and stuff. So it was a tough transition, but it's as the days have gone on, the weeks have gone on, it's been a lot smoother.
For Rivera, trusting the process starts at practice.
It's just trying to take a step forward every day. You know, like if I have a good day, say I had a good day yesterday, I want to try to have a great day today. You know, just try to be a little bit better each day.
Good, Mo, good!
This season is a new chapter for a storied program.
Look, throw it right back, and he's going forward.
A new chapter written by an entirely new team.
Hard work on three, hard work on three. 1, 2, 3. Hard down there.
I thought it'd be a really cool chance to, you know, try to build on that and do it in kind of our own way.
We may not know the ending, but it is off to a great start.
Coach, you got Adam from West Texas. Having him be a West Texas kid, how important was it for you guys to sign him to UTPB?
I think it was really important. We wanted to establish right from the beginning the era, the Newman 2.0 era, as has been coined, that we want to establish strong roots in the Permian Basin. And Adam Rivera was the first signee that we've ever had, and he was from Amarillo, West Texas. So all those things I think were really important for us to establish who we want to be, not now, but in the future.
So moving here, what has his role been with the team?
A lot of leadership, because he is one of the two guys that know who I am, kind of my mannerisms, kind of what I expect, the good days and the bad days. So he's been able to communicate with a lot of the guys and kind of let them know, hey, this is what we need to do. This is the process, as we have talked a lot to our team about winning the day, the process about what it takes. And so he's been able to help those guys maybe translate my words to his words to their words.
Sure. Well, you said this. He was the first player that y'all signed for this team.
Yes, and this team is like no other team. So it was very important for us to sign him.
Well, thanks, Coach. All right, up next, we're getting to know some of your new members of your coaching staff. This will be fun. Stay with us here on Falcon Focus.
We're back with more Falcon Focus with Jake Dayton and Marshall Kramsky.
Welcome back. This year's basketball season brought not just a new coach, but also an entirely new staff.
All new everything. Well, one of those men is Zane Gibson. I got to know him in a walk down the court.
Take a bounce if you need to. Don't travel.
Okay, we are getting to know Coach Gibson. He is one of the assistant coaches for the basketball program. Tell me how you came on the team here at UT Permian Basin.
So I was with Coach Newman the past 2 years in Arkansas. So when he made the move, it was a no-brainer just to jump on the back of his truck and head on down here to West Texas.
I love it. So how has the process been? Y'all really rebuilt an entire team.
Yeah, you know, we were obviously had a plan when we were up in Arkansas, and then when we took the job, we had to quickly form a new plan. as far as what we wanted to do, have to bring in 12 new guys. So we just wanted to stay to our principle, athletic guys who are versatile, and I think we did a really good job of putting the team together in about a month and a half.
Certainly, y'all have had a good start to the season. What is your approach to coaching?
I feel like honesty, and it's kind of a little weird to talk about that with coaching, but just telling the guys exactly what I see and not trying to necessarily tell them in a manner that's demeaning or also too soft, but just make sure they understand what I'm seeing to help them adjust and make an adjustment on the floor.
Sure, will build trust. That's a huge part of coaching. Your players got to trust you. So what are some of the things that you've been working on with the team so far? What's been your role?
So I have the post players. So I have post development, and so right now we're working on scoring with our back to the basket, being able to use both our left and our right hands so teams can't scout us and take away a certain move. And then also I help with our zone a lot. So those are kind of my two primary focuses in practice.
Okay, very good. So when you look at the season, we're at the very beginning of it. We just had our home opener here last week. What are you excited about this season?
Well, I'm super excited about where I think this team could go. We've talked about it. We're 12 new guys, new coaching staff. There's so much unfamiliarity, and still just being in November, we're going to be a completely different team in February and March than we are right now, and it's just an exciting journey to be on to see where we end up going.
Absolutely. So if somebody at home is watching and they're like, who is Zane Gibson? What's one thing that you would tell somebody outside of basketball?
Oh, shoot. I don't know. I have a dog. I guess that's one thing.
Okay.
I don't know if that defines me or not.
You're a dog person.
Yeah, but I've pretty much been in basketball my whole life. Grew up as a coach's son, played in college, and have just been jumped right into the profession. So there's not a whole lot about me outside of basketball. But
basketball
I do have a dog.
I like that. What's your dog's name?
Barkley.
Barkley. Clever. I like a good pun. Okay, so most important question. I ask this to every coach I talk to. If you had a superpower, what would your superpower be?
I think I would be able to jump. Like Superman, they say jump over the tallest buildings, because when I played, I was not a super athletic guy. So I'd like to have a superpower that some of my teammates, some of our guys have. I'd like to be able to jump a little bit higher.
Got the hops. I like that. Coach, thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, Coach, you brought over Coach Gibson from Arkansas Fort Smith. Why did you bring him over, and why was he so crucial to this new staff?
Oh, because he's a vital part of our program.
Okay.
He does a great job, and we wouldn't be where we are today without him and without AJ. I can only do so much, and these guys do way more than they get credit for. They do so much behind the scenes. They're my sounding board. They're the sounding board for the players. They are tremendously valuable for our success.
Coach Gibson talked a lot about making a plan for this team, your vision for it. What changed with this team and where you came from?
Well, I think every team's different. I know what we want to do, but then when you start recruiting and start adding those pieces to your team and the certain players, you have to adjust.
Sure.
And so Zane and AJ and myself, we talk nonstop about what's the strengths of this team, what's the weakness of this team, what do we want to put them in to be successful. It might not be what we want to do, but it's more importantly what they can do. So we talk a lot about it because it's very important, and we have to adapt to their strengths.
All right, thanks, Coach. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back here on Falcon Focus.
We're back with more Falcon Focus with Jake Dayton and Marshall Kramsky.
All right, Coach, you're now headed to California this week for a team trip to San Francisco. Explain to me why you do this and why this is so exciting for your team.
I think every college athlete wants to have an experience. And when we talk about building our program here and building our era, it's about experience. It's about winning championships. It's about obviously getting an education, but it's also about the experience and the team bonding that you do. And so every year I would like to take my team on a trip. This year it just so happens to be to San Francisco. So we're going to go play Pacific, which is a Division I game. It's an exhibition game, but we will fly out on Tuesday, land in San Francisco, and we'll spend the entire day sightseeing, going to Alcatraz, taking the trolleys, and really doing something that these guys have never had the chance to or might never get the chance to. And I like to do that. I think it's very important to put that personal touch on your program.
Absolutely. Well, and
can I
just the
go?
memories. Yeah, right?
Can I go? Like,
is there an extra seat?
see, like, I'll come over to San Francisco for the weekend. Like, no problem with
Who do
me.
we need to call?
Yeah,
Who do we
exactly.
need to call?
Scott
Okay.
Farber. Okay, no,
So let's talk a moment about the toy toss game coming up in a few weeks. I love this idea. You brought this over from Arkansas.
Yeah, this is special to my heart, to be honest with you. Again, we talked about history earlier in the episode about going to playing in Midland. Well, this is something we're bringing to Odessa as well. It's the first ever toy toss here. It's an event we created 8 years ago in Arkansas, and it's a phenomenal event for the children of the Permian Basin. Long story short, we've got 5 elementary schools that are going to assist with this, and they're having a toy drive at their school. My guys will go to each one of the schools and simulate the toy toss with the winning class or the winning grade at each one of those schools. Then we'll bring all the toys to the Falcon Dome, and then when we score our very first point against Arlington Baptist, all of the fans that have a toy will be able to throw those toys on the floor. So it'll be a shower of toys, and I'm hoping thousands and thousands and thousands. This event has been on ESPN. It's been on Headline News. Last year in Arkansas, we collected 8,000 stuffed animals for the children of that community. So I'm hoping that the Permian Basin will rally behind this. I think it could be a national event that takes place here in the Permian Basin, and not only can our program and the university get acknowledged, but the community can.
Absolutely. Well, and you know, Texas, we like to do things a little bit bigger, a
here.
little bit better.
Exactly.
So no pressure, everybody. We hope everybody comes out to
hopefully
that.
everyone lives up to expectations, but I think they
It will.
All right,
It
come
will.
on now. All right, guys, that's all the time we have tonight here for Falcon Focus. For myself, Tatum, and Coach Newman, you guys have a great now. And of course,
Falcons up.